Hey, welcome to Old Ass Movie Reviews. I'm Scott. There's Dave, and we are coming to you as close to live as we possibly can. Immediately ran home after work and watched the Munsters on Netflix. And y'all haters gonna hate. I really fucking love this movie. I had a good time, man.
I found myself enjoying this. When I was a kid, I watched the original Munsters, of course. Everybody does. And I've always leaned towards the Addams Family. But this movie was needed for the Munsters. I've seen so many bad remakes or bad things that they tried to, when they tried to redo it, or the new Munsters, or the whatever in this, I think the late 70s, 80s, and I think they tried one in the early 90s, mid 90s.
They did, but it was called like Mockingbird Lane or something.
All failed miserably. They were just not good, not well done at all. Like you said, haters gonna hate. I like this movie. I laughed at a couple of real good nods, not just to the original series, but there was one really big nod towards the end for the original Herman Munster's character.
Fred Gwynn.
Fred, thank you.
Yeah,
Fred Gwynn.
A call back to Car 54. Where are you?
Yep, to one of his series.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, that's the kind of stuff that Rob Zombie put into this movie. And you can see nothing but the utmost love for this property in the way he did this. You said you watched it in black and white. I watched it.
I turned to color.
I watched it in color. It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
I want to go back and watch it in black and white because
I want to watch it in color.
Yeah. Growing up, I'd come home from school. There's things that would be on the TV. The Three Stooges, the Munsters, the Addams Family, those Green Acres. It just goes on and on. All those shows that I would see after school, and seeing it in color, it was it was weird at first, but then it became no big deal. But what I'm saying is they had the throwbacks, the little callbacks to different shows there's a lot of stuff in there. I need to watch just to catch all the little throwbacks he put in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in the background, like that are obvious, like you said, throwbacks, obvious moments that are saying, hey, look, we're having fun with this movie. I think he went in as a fan of that series and wanting to do a good job. And you know what, Rob, Mr. Zombie, whatever your real name is, I don't know. You did a good job writing it, directing it, getting the right cameraman, the right lighting guys. The sets were beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to say his wife, to me, Sherry played that part perfectly. She played the perfect young Lily Munster.
Yeah, I bought that's just it. The casting in this I felt was perfect. It was, and my favorite performances all come from now what was his name? Roebuck? Daniel Roebuck
Daniel Roebuck is the grandpa or the count?
Yeah, as grandpa, as count. He reminded me so much of the original actor. Was it Al Lewis? Yeah.
Al Lewis. So
he reminded me very much. And it was just, if you'd ever seen the original show, you'll get the energy here. You understand it. And it just, Herman has always been stupid as hell.
And now it explains why he was dumb.
That was a great explanation.
It explains why he was as dumb as he was.
The TV announcer before Floop. I almost spoiled some things. Anyway.
We're trying not to spoil anything. I will say that this is well written. I know there are going to be some detractors out there that hate just to hate.
Sure.
If you're a fan of the original, I would recommend turning down the color, because I think the color will distract you from what's actually happening.
I feel that's accurate.
And so I turned it down. I didn't want to be distracted. There was one or two times that I was just wondering what they were doing with the color, because Rob Zombie likes to work with lighting. He likes to work with color. His lighting effects look really good, even in black and white. Maybe for me, for what I grew up with watching, even better. There was a couple times where I turned the color back on just to see, just to kind of see what was, what was different. And I was like, okay, I see. I'm going to have to watch this again in color just to see if it has a different effect on me. So I would recommend, folks, if you're going to watch it, turn down the color all the way to black and white and just enjoy it for what it is. It's a monster. It is a long episode. It is a long Munsters episode. This is the origin story without being a pain in the ass origin story to watch, because it explains everything about the Munsters and who they are and where they're from and what. There was one thing I'm missing, and I'll say it towards the end. Whenever you're ready to say our goodbyes, okay. I will tell everybody to turn it off, and I will say the one thing that I was counting on for this show.
Okay.
And it doesn't happen, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting an origin story, so I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
But it was neat to understand why Herman is so fucking stupid.
So dumb. So dumb. But he's got a good heart.
And that's how he wasn't. Yeah. He got it from somewhere. But that's just it. If you've seen the Munsters, this is a stupid show.
Yeah.
The movie is stupid.
Yes.
I smiled from ear to ear the whole damn time.
The whole freaking time.
I had a good time, man.
Let me put it to you this way. This is such a dumb, stupid show. It fits the series perfectly.
Yes.
And I laughed.
Yes.
My wife laughed. Kat usually doesn't laugh a whole lot out loud unless something's just like absolutely just hysterical, right?
Right.
She was laughing out loud a couple of times. I mean, she's laughing and smiling with me, but usually it's just kind of that's funny. But there was a couple of times where she was like, that's freaking great. Did you see that? So I know that it was good. The editing, I was just getting ready to text you about editing, and you texted me first. Very much like what you had said. And what did you say, Scott?
Well, I said Rob Zombie clearly has a style, because there's some things that reminded me of House of a Thousand Corpses with the little quick cuts in and out, speeding up the film, going to animation. It's very frantic, or it's cool, and it's Rob Zombie's style.
And the animation in betweens when they're driving.
Yes.
It fits. As silly as it sounds and as stupid as this would have been in any other movie, it would work in the Addams Family, I think, because they're kind of weird and wacky and, altogether spooky dooky, but it would work. It absolutely worked because they're so out there. It explains everything. The people that were in this let me get this up. I gotta get on my reading glasses, folks, because the list of names is good.
Yeah, there's a lot of that's one of the things I had texted you is I felt the casting was perfect. So it was
absolutely perfect. Elvira doesn't show up as Elvira. She shows up as Barbara Carr, a real estate salesperson. Cassandra Peterson.
That was awesome to see.
She's not in makeup. Look for her. I almost didn't catch it because I'm looking at her going, oh my God, she looks really familiar. And Kat's like, that's Elvira. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. Not looking for her, I wasn't looking for her. Sherry Moon Zombie. I said it once. I'll say it again. She's adorable. She's great in this role.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I know that some people will hate me for it. Hate away, because I thought she was a perfect young She's only 150 in this.
That's right.
So she's only 150 years old in this, and that's the new 100.
It's a joke in there.
So this is a younger version. This is almost like when they were young adults, young teenagers.
Yeah.
Supposedly meeting. So that works. It's a good story. Who else is in this? Let's take a look. Jeff Daniel Phillips is Herman.
Yeah.
He also played Zombo and Shecky Rathbone. That's funny. That is funny as hell. Richard Brake was Dr. Augustus Wolfgang. Daniel Roebuck. This is not the guy I thought was behind the makeup. Like, I saw the name and I'm like, I know that name. I couldn't place it, but I'm looking at Grandpa in the face and I'm like, man, this guy who is this guy? Not the guy that I saw. Daniel Roebuck looks nothing like Grandpa, but he played the part perfectly. And you said who played the Tin Can? Go ahead.
Yeah, Butch Patrick. So
That's
Eddie
crazy.
Munster.
That's just crazy. I'm going to shoot a rocket at it. That's a little.
That's a whole nother story.
Another story. Dee Wallace, big voice actress, did Good Morning Transylvania announcer. And who played Igor? Tell him who played Igor, my friend.
Sylvester McCoy, the doctor. That was a nice surprise.
That was a great.
He was great in there, man. He was crazy.
Just the stupid, crazy shit he was doing in that was just funny. And it wasn't all over the top with him. It was all like in his face and in his eyes and what he would say and how he would look. And you're like, this man is totally insane, just like everybody else in Transylvania. Julie Adams was the art from the archive footage. Kay Lawrence. Pat Priest. Now, Pat Priest is the beautiful little blonde from the original series. Okay.
Yeah.
She played the Transylvania Airlines announcer, which I didn't know until I looked at this thing. So you pick up where I left off down by Pat Priest. I'm guessing you're on IMDb with me, right?
I'm just actually on a Google. Another noticeable one was Floop, played by Jorge Garcia,
right.
Who, if you ever watched Lost, it's Hurley. So
she was right. My wife was right. She's like, wasn't he on Lost? And I was like, I don't know. I've never watched the series, but that
you should.
Yeah, everybody tells me that. Everybody. Where else?
But yeah, there's a lot of nods in here. A lot of it's just honestly, it's a lot of love that I see from Rob putting this together. One of the things that I had mentioned to you real early on within watching just the opening scene was somebody needs to give Rob Zombie the money to do a classic monster movie.
Yes. Within the first 5 minutes. And I'm talking Universal old school monster movie, not super horror guts and
no.
I want to see him old Universal. My God, it would rock.
I would
go see that at the theater. I would go see Rob Zombie, Frankenstein, Werewolf, The Mummy, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, Invisible Man. I would go see any one of those if Universal was like,
I think he would do it.
What can you do with this? And I want you to keep it as old school as possible. The budget wouldn't have to be there. The stuff he did in this show with, I'm sure, the small budget he had, I found phenomenal. I love the stuff that was going on behind everybody's head.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite special effects. And it was probably the easiest thing in the world to do.
Yeah.
They probably just had a little spinny rack behind their heads with a light.
It was neat. It felt many times watching this, I felt like I was back as a little kid watching this on TV.
Yes. Yeah.
So it worked.
Yeah. I think, it's a spoiler moment and I just want to give it away. All I'll say is there's not just the Munsters origin story in here. There's another origin story in here. They just let you know where they pick something up and get somebody in the family, so to speak, with them. I can't give it away. I want to give it away.
Yeah, but it's a cool one. Yeah. That was a neat surprise. I know exactly where you're going, and I thought it was
so hard.
Was totes adorable.
Yes.
All right. So, just to wrap up this real quick, spoiler-free review, I give it a must-watch if you're a fan of the Munsters.
Yeah.
If you have never seen the original Munsters, this movie may be a big miss for you. I think it will. You'll say, "What the hell are these guys smoking?" But man, it checked the boxes for me. What about you, Dave?
Absolutely, I say the exact same thing. This. If you are a Munsters fan, I think if you're a big Munsters fan, you may look at this and go, "Oh, what did he do?" But I don't see it. I seen it and I was like, "This is great. This is a Munsters episode. This is if I was going to watch a Munsters series now, I would want to watch this movie before I watched the series, so I knew how
it's
they
the
got
origin.
where
This
they
is
were at.
this is the prequel. This is
This
before
is
the TV show.
And this is a well done prequel. This isn't like the Star Wars episodes 1, 2, and 3 prequel. This is one that actually makes sense. This is one that actually makes sense. It's good. This is a must watch for me. I'm gonna watch this a couple of more times. I think I'm probably gonna go out and buy the Blu-ray. I'll be honest with you. If I like something enough to go buy the disc,
I'd like to see a lot of the special features. So I didn't look to even see if Netflix had them up or not.
Because there's the one spoiler warning.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that. All right, folks, if you have not seen it, stop. Don't listen to us any further. We're going to take just a minute to talk about something, so you have been warned.
I've only got one spoiler. This is it. This is the only thing I wanted to see happen that did not happen. I wanted the niece to be standing at the door at the end of the series.
I expected it.
With a note. Just a little girl, maybe 10 or 12 years old, because she wouldn't be old enough yet. She wouldn't be the teenager. She would have come to live with him when she was younger. Just with a little note saying, dear Uncle Herman and Aunt Lily, you need to take care of our little girl, or something. And all of a sudden there's the niece. And then maybe Lily look over at Herman and go, I'm pregnant. I'm going to have a baby kind of thing. Or you find out that she's pregnant and then the niece is at the door and you're like, boom, perfect. However, I did love the happy ending.
Yes.
I did love the happy ending. But it's good. That was it. That was
good. It was good. And seeing the origin of the dragon.
Yeah, that was good. It was very good. So I'm glad we told everybody to turn this off. If you didn't listen to us, it's your own fault.
It's your own fault. You didn't miss. I mean, we didn't spoil too much. But anyway, thank you for checking us out and giving us a like, a subscribe, a hit, a share. Appreciate every one of y'all. Thank you.
We appreciate it. Have a good one, folks.